Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. You know what? I just decided to go live with this. Uh, Everybody's weighing in on the Shannon Sharp thing, so I might as well do it as well. Um, First of all, I have to say that he's an idiot. But you know what? It seems like men have been taking L's when it comes to the ladies all the time. Now, the truth of the matter is, uh, I got to say this. And I've said it before on a lot of my shows when we can have male female relationships, and I stick by this. I believe that women uh, are in full control of the sexual marketplace. Men just play in it. That doesn't mean that some men don't win, but for the most part, men take big L's because they're stupid when it comes to the box, right? I mean, it's hard to argue that, right? So here we have another example. So a year ago, I put out this, black men in the age of male sexual discernment and consequence. And I really believe that there's no groupthink when it comes to the age of discernment for men. It's an individual thing, right? Every man comes to his own discernment in terms of the sexual do's and sexual don'ts when it comes to women. And it comes in all ages. Uh, it comes in whatever your class is. You could be a rich man, you could be a middle class man, you could be a poor man. Every man comes to his age of discernment when it comes to sexuality on an individual basis. There's no groupthink. What I mean by that is when we start saying men should have dick discipline, I would just say, duh, of course we should. Okay, but men's nature is the only constant. If you're a heterosexual man, and I'm not talking about the gay men, but men in general who are healthy, we constantly want to have sex with women. Now, the way that manifests itself is not that we're savages going out there hunting for women. If we're interested in a woman, eventually we're going to want to sleep with her. It's as simple as that. We can't fight that. We should stop denying that. It's just true. So one of the things is that men's sexual nature is a predictable thing. And if it's predictable, it could be manipulated, right? So if you're a man who's not that experienced, a woman can manipulate you. And even if you are an experienced man, you could be still manipulated because your desires are still more important than the shit that you have to lose. And that's when we get to the Shannon Sharp thing. But before we go into all this stuff with him, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. This, like I said, you could go back a year ago and look up the same thumbnail. And I had this conversation on this channel, and I did a full live on the Black Man Unfiltered channel when we had people coming up on the stage and we had like a panel discussion and stuff like that. But I firmly believe that, men have to, no matter what our station in life, men usually take L's when it comes to what they're willing to give up to have sex with a particular woman, right? You could be a king, King David, right? He had his best soldier killed so he could sleep with the soldier's wife, Bathsheba, right? He did that, right? Uh, you had Bill Clinton, who was wooed by a little fat chick, in a Oval Office, right? And you had a Celtic head coach who couldn't keep his Johnson in his pants, and he's busting down an executive's wife. And so now we have Shannon Sharp being wooed by a 19-year-old girl, 20-year-old, not girl, woman. That's the one thing I don't, this whole bullshit that she's young and all that, let's get out. She's a sex worker. She's an OnlyFans worker. She's used to manipulating men. And so just because she's young doesn't mean that she didn't know what she was doing. She had an old duck on the line and she manipulated him because he's an asshole, right? So he's almost, I think he could be destroyed. All the shit that he built up, everything that he's done, it could go out the window just because he wanted to sleep with a chick. I don't care if she was 20, 19, 20, 21. I don't care. A 40-year-old woman would have did the same thing to her if she was out for money. It doesn't make it any better. One allegation can destroy a man's life. And whether we believe her or not, it's already too late for Shannon Sharp. It's already, and this whole bullshit about making her call Jane Doe, we got to stop that. If his name could be put out there, so should hers. And fuck the bullshit thing about she's a victim. If you're going to make this kind of accusation that could destroy a man, your name should be made public, just like his. So we got to stop coddling these women, right? So I got some stuff, and everybody's seen it already. Everybody's talked about it already, but it's a bigger issue than just Shannon Sharp. Because one thing, it might be, here's what should be mandatory reading. Napoleon Hill's A Law of Sexual Transmutation. If a man doesn't do anything, he should just read that chapter on a man growing out of his sexual desires as a priority throughout his life. Right? Because they say that, men, when they get older, and we're not talking about your Johnson not working anymore, we're talking about as you get older, different things become more important to you. Right? So when you're in your 30s or 40s, at some point, getting busting down women shouldn't be your highest priority. Achievement should be, right? Being successful with it and within whatever your endeavors might be. So that's what we need to get to. But the truth of the matter is that comes differently for every man. For me, I was blessed. I came into my age of discernment that what's a good woman to be with, what's a bad woman to be with when I was 19, 20 years old. That's why I don't buy into any of this age bullshit. I learned some of my best lessons when I was young, when I was still going through the formative years of, exploring my sexuality with honeys. So I learned that lesson really young. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was from a woman. A couple of lessons, from my first girl to a lady who I had nothing to do with. We just had a conversation, and she told me how to view my relationship with women in general. And it was almost 50 years ago. I still remember that shit. I still remember her sitting down with me at a break between classes, and we were just having a general conversation. And she said, "Listen, Rich," and she was an AKA too. I wish I could remember her name. She said to me, "Listen, if you're having trouble with the ladies, you got to understand one thing. They have absolutely no power over you except for what's between their legs. And if you lose yourself to a woman because of what she has between your legs, you've lost everything. You've lost any power, any control you have if she could rule you based on the fact she's got a vagina." And that shit, man, she looked, I'll never forget that. And I'm so grateful that somebody kind of shook me when I was 19 or 20 years old with that kind of conversation, because it's the only truism that is in a relationship. And most men who are upside down with a woman, it's really because he craves what she has sexually. Really, because anything else doesn't make any sense. We men generally love harder than women anyway. Uh, and it's the truth. You guys can take or leave us on a whim, right? No fault divorce, and the divorce rate with women tell us that. When it's time for y'all to say, you know what, I had enough of this shit, whether the guy did anything wrong or not, till you're married, you could just walk out with no remorse, right? So men don't really behave like that. Not really. So that's where it's at. So Shannon Sharp is our newest victim of a self-inflicted wound because he got taken to the cleaners and to the bank for a 19-year-old woman. And she's not a girl. She's a woman. She's an OnlyFans sex worker. And so we got to stop calling her like some kind of baby out there. That's just bullshit. You know, she's not. She's not. Maybe she's not a full-fledged predator. Maybe Shannon Sharp is her first big catch, but she got him. She got him on tape. She's got him on video. She's got him on everything. He's such an asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's a shame. It's sad, and it's hard to feel sorry for a man who's reached the age of 55 with all of the money in the world, with all the stuff ahead of him. He's just getting ready to make $100 million sale at Club Shay Shay or some shit like that, where he still has to be the face of it, but he sold it for a profit. He would have been able to sell it for a profit. And now, is that deal still on? Hell no. Not if the face of the deal is destroyed. Right? So she not only wants $50 million, she's blown $100 million for him. Right? Because if you were the buyer, would you still be buying that from him? If he's the face of it? Hell no. You will not be the buyer of that. So anybody who comes in here, man, hit the like button. If you stay, just hit the like button. Hit the like button. You can put comments in the chat. I'm just kind of going off on the riff. There's a couple of things I do also. When I get certain themes, I think I'm getting a reputation because I like to do AI music. But the thing about the AI music, you can manipulate the lyrics. You can write some of the lyrics yourself. And the AI tool will put music to your lyrics, so I'm getting pretty good at that right now. So anytime I come out with a record or a music video, a lot of the lines I manipulate myself. I rewrite them, but the tunes are not mine. But I got a tune on this situation. And of course, there's different versions because it's hit or miss. Some come out pretty nice, some are not. So I want to go ahead and play a couple for you before we get to the first. I got two, and you guys could tell me in the chat or in the replay which one is better than the other one. Okay, one is a slow ballad sung by a man because I think this whole situation is something that men, men should be in charge of. But I like female voices, so I have one rendition is a little bit more upbeat, and it's a woman. And so I'm gonna play the first one, and then we're gonna go through some of the Shannon Sharp shit. And I'm gonna have some commentary, and then at the end I'm gonna play the other one. You know what I'm saying? So if you're here, you'll hear both. If you want to hear both, you gotta look at the whole thing in the replay. So I'm gonna play the first one now. And then the next one, I'm going to play at the end. And the first one is by a man singing. And the lyrics are going to be the same, but it's a slower ballad. And it talks about a man in his age of discernment and what he should be doing. And it's the second one. It's the same lyrics, but a woman and a different beat. So here goes the first one. Stay tuned. This is called Dance of Desire.
When the lights dim low and desires ignite, a balance of respect in the heat of the night, knowing when to chase and when to refrain. Men must learn the wisdom and passion's sweet rain. Open up your mind before you open the door to your lust. Find the depth within to comprehend consequences thrust. It's more than a moment, it's a journey we take with the heart as your compass. Each choice that you make, building a bridge from the body to mind. Find the strength in the love, not to leave a bitter woman behind. Oh, Navigating the paths of attraction we face, Understanding ourselves gives us the true grace. With every heartbeat, hold your ground with pride. In the dance of desire, let discernment be your guide. Seek the spark of the soul, let your spirit soar. In the tide of the flesh, find the strength not to hit it wrong. It's more than a moment, it's a journey we take. With the heart as your compass, each choice that you make. Building a bridge from the body to mind. Find the strength in the love, not to leave a bitter woman behind. Your mind lead the way before your soul. Oh, in the realm of desire, find a discerning effort to just say no.
All right, so that's the first one. I'm not going to play the second one just yet, but we're going to talk about Shannon Sharp right now, right? I mean, come on, Shannon. All right. So here's the honey that Shannon was fooling around with, right? So the only point is that I didn't think she should have been anonymous in the first place. You know, if you're coming out with these kind of allegations, show your face, say your name, and stand 10 toes down on it. You know, you don't get no hidden bullshit that they start to do. Women's names should be put out there. I don't give a shit unless it's some real heinous crime and she's still in danger. If she makes an accusation, especially in a civil case, criminal case we could talk about, but a civil case where she's trying to destroy a man's reputation, even if he's at fault, he still needs his day in court, and he shouldn't be destroyed in a court of public opinion, which Shannon Sharp already is. You know, and this whole notion because she's young has nothing to do with that shit as far as I'm concerned. She's a sex worker on OnlyFans. So she's been manipulating men for years, for as long as she could. Maybe she started at 18 when she was legal, right? But women at 18 or 19 these days have 100 bodies or more, right? So let's not make her into some innocent little young girl. She's not. She's not, right? So is she a victim in this case? Well, we got to see, you know. We got to see if he's liable. But she's got a lot of ammunition, right? But Shannon Sharp is an idiot, right? I heard at one point he had an opportunity to make her sign, not make her sign. He asked her to sign an NDA. She said no, and he still went along with it. I mean, because he's got snow bunny fever. You know, he's not snow bunny, he's got snow blindness, right? Sometimes when it's snowing out there and it's all kinds of white everywhere, snow, they call it snow blindness. You can't see anything. Your depth perception is gone. And that's exactly what happened to him. What happened to him in real life, because again, he's an idiot. I think he's an idiot. You know, he put everything on the line. He made himself so vulnerable just for this chick. So here's a couple of things he's talking about, and I'm gonna play some real short videos because we don't have to go through it. But let's just go through what she said when she had him on the phone, and he sounded like a dork on the phone. We got text messages and all that shit. Everybody's been going through that. So I just want to show a couple of things here. What's the other one? That what a dork. I don't have it up. Okay. Find it. Let me go back to let me go back to this. Yeah, I forgot I brought it down. Let me see. Yeah, they're up there. So let me See if I have it up here. All right. Give me a second, everybody. You know, this is the perils of doing stuff live. All right. I'm almost there. Okay. Almost there. Almost there. All right. So we're going to try this again. All right. So we're going to try. Oh, Shannon Sharp. All right. Let me do this. All right. I got it.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, no, have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do.
All right. So, you know, I mean, just first of all, the fact that she used the word "don't manipulate me" when he said what he said, you could just tell that she was like coached to say use the word manipulation, and obviously she's been using that more and more. But you know, off camera, off video, whatever, she's been using that as her new catchword, and he couldn't tell that that is the setup, right? That's the setup, right? If you say manipulation and you get it on camera, you get it on video, you get it on audio enough times where you kind of say you're feeling manipulated by this old scraggly ass man, you know, who's taking advantage of you because you're just a little dainty little sweetheart sex worker. You know, I mean, come on. You know, so I think he finally then he still didn't know how to control himself because he's talking about choking her out. Now we know that that's just a euphemism. He's not choking her ass out because there's no allegation that he choked her anywhere. I don't believe without her. You know, she was having all kinds of kinky, consensual sex with him. Now a woman has the right to turn that shit off, right? A woman has a right to turn it off. So this thing like is going on. Some of these earlier things are from 2023 and now it's 2025. So it turns she probably said, "Shit, man, I had enough of this guy. I could just go ahead and I have enough evidence that I could just take his money and have nothing to do with him anymore." And that's exactly where we are right now. So he's such an asshole. Oh my God. Anyway, so here's Shannon. You know, I don't know whether his lawyer let him do this or not. It's still stupid because he shouldn't say shit. So he makes his own video. It's bad enough because even in a civil court, right, with anything you say can be used against you, even in court. So did he say anything incriminating on this tape coming up? Let's go check it out.
Supporters and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men.
Now, that part is true, right? This guy does target black men. And the reason why he targeted Jay-Z is because he realized that Diddy's money is gone, right? So that the lady who had a case against Diddy wasn't going to get anything because Diddy ain't got no more money to give to nobody. So he tried to have a rider with Jay-Z's name on it. And then Jay-Z said just the allegation itself cost him $20 million, right? And the chick was lying. Busby gets away with it with his license intact. The chick gets away with it with lying. But Jay-Z said it's not enough. He's coming after them, right? So Shannon's right there. But you put yourself in this situation, Shannon. So did Diddy. You know, maybe Jay-Z, no, because there's no reason, there's no way to tie him to that chick. But you put yourself in this situation.
I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and played into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
So now here we go. Shannon Sharp is trying to preempt the fact that he knows that there's a sex tape. There's a sex tape that says that in the first 10 or 15 seconds, you can edit the tape to show that he's some kind of, assaulter. What did you do in 10 or 15 seconds? And then you go out and say, a good day for you is 10 minutes long. Put up the whole sex tape. 10 minutes? 10 minutes? I don't know, man. If he should have said 6 minutes, so they could have did the meme, 6 minutes, Dougie Fresh, we're on 6, Anyway, man, I tell you, Shannon, I think your lawyer should have never let you make this stupid plea. Or if the plea would have just been the first part, hey, listen, I'm going to vigorously fight this. I think she's a liar. She's trying to extort me. And I'm going to fight this too. And I'm going to sue them back. That should have been it. Everything else, you should have just shut up.
The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation. And now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about.
Your family and your fans are calling you an idiot. That's what they're doing, or at least they should, and it's too late, man. And listen, you can even win this case, or she can lose it. She could lose the case, but there's no way that you could win anymore. And even if you come out of this shit unscathed, you're not going back on First Take. Whatever that contract was that you just signed with First Take, it's gone. They're ripping that shit up right now, win or lose. You know what? And I can tell you, you might not think this, but I'm thinking in my head that Molly Karam has already gone to those bosses and said, I can't work with this guy anymore. Now, this is allegedly just me saying that. I'm not saying she did that, but I can see her doing that. As much as a misandrist that she is when it comes to these matters, I can see her doing that, right? So secretly doing that. Hey, listen, whatever y'all do, I can't work with him anymore. Just on the allegations alone, I can absolutely see her doing it. So that's just me. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying I can see her doing that. And so listen, you're never going to be back. And your boy Stephen A., he's running the other way, because he wants to be president now. Holy shit.
And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys.
Okay, Shannon. All right, man. We love you too, man. Oh my God. Anyway, so that's that. So I'm not going to be too much longer with this. I just wanted to have my 2 cents just like everybody else, have their little 2 cents. Now, I told you I had 2 songs that theme songs about men and their discernment. The first one was a dude earlier on. This last one, which is going to take us home, is a woman singing, even though I don't think it, if you got to have your mind right to hear I like women's voices singing to me. So, but she's talking about the same lyrics. There's a little bit tune, is a little bit more upbeat. It's got a nice little bass line, and we're going to play that for you, and then we're out of here. And whoever showed up, hit that like button. Thanks for stopping by.
When the lights dim low and desires ignite, a balance of respect in the heat of the night, knowing when to chase and when to refrain, then must learn the wisdom in passion's sweet rain. Open up your mind before you open the door to your lust. find the depth within to comprehend consequences first. It's more than a moment, it's a journey we take. With the heart as a compass, each choice that you make. Building a bridge from the body to mind. Find the strength and the love, not to leave a bitter woman behind. Navigating the paths of attraction we face. Understanding ourselves gives us the true grace. With every heartbeat, hold your ground with pride. In the dance of desire, let discernment be your guide. Seek the spark of the soul, let your spirit soar. In the tide of the flesh, find the strength not to hit it raw. It's more than a moment, it's a journey we take. With the heart as a compass, each choice that you make. Building a bridge from the body to life. Find the strength and the love, not to leave a bitter woman behind. Men, walk with intention, let your mind lead the way before your soul. In the realm of desire, find the discerning effort, test to see. Walk with intention, let your mind lead the way before soul. In that over desire, find instead how to just say no.
Pain, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.